What's going on? It's Monday, so it's a conversation between you and I today. Um, Today I am continuing my series on um the POV curriculum. The POV curriculum officially is finished. I'm now putting it into a digital design so that because I'm done editing it, at least the first run through edit, and then gonna kind of dive deeper into smaller like technical things like, oh, this word was supposed to be here, I missed a the or a capital letter or whatever. um but it's basically done, which is crazy because I just was just talking with the Instagram people, the Instagram live, because this is Facebook and YouTube. But um as I was looking at this, I realized that it's been like years since I had this idea. I was actually, I took a nap one day and I was half awake, half asleep when this idea struck me, which actually neurologically is like the best time for ideas. Like that's when your brain, when you're either just waking up or just going to sleep, your brain is starting to process all the different stuff. So different ideas come because you're putting everything that you already know, that you've learned, that you've thought about in context, and your brain is like sorting it out. So I got these 6 things that were different. They were titled differently, but it's the same content. Um, I just changed the title so that they're more accurate to what I'm actually trying to communicate to the dance world. And it's kind of surreal because now, as I'm finishing it and putting it into like the design stage of like making sure it looks nice, I'm like kind of, I don't know, like it's just, I don't know, it's just very surreal to be like, okay, this is like a thing that's happening right now. Um anyways, uh my name, oh, what? My name is Joel Casanova, if you didn't know. I'm the creator and founder of Beat Hunter Dance. This talk show exists, the Beat Hunter Dance talk show exists to help your dance journey be healthy, productive, and 100% yours. 3 very important things for every dance journey to be, regardless of whether you're doing it professionally or regardless of whether you're starting your dance journey for the first time. Being healthy, productive, and making it 100% yours are very important things. And they're all 3 possible things. And Mondays are when we dive into one specific topic that helps you do one of those things. Today is specifically healthy. Um, it also allows it to be productive and it also allows it to be 100% yours, but health is specific because this topic today is standards. That is the 6th topic in the POV curriculum that I just talked about finishing. I want to preface this by saying this is a very serious topic for me. Like, I know so many dancers and have met so many dancers and have seen their downfall, which is super unfortunate. Like, we kind of joke about it, like, like people move to California and dye their hair blue kind of thing. But it's like, it's it's way more like that's a joke that sometimes you'll see on the internet, and sometimes people use it derogatorily. There's nothing wrong with dyeing your hair blue or moving to California. But what I see is the deeper level, which is, okay, I'm seeing people move to different places or even stay where they are and change because their standards aren't strong and they just kind of dwindle, which affects you, the person, the dancer, which is the most important part of dancing to begin with. So, first things first, standards and boundaries, they can kind of be interchangeable. They're a little bit different, but they are kind of in the same category. Standards themselves are your baseline. It's like, I am drawing this line here. This is the line of acceptance, right? If it's below the line, I'm not accepting it. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. If it's above the line, that is something that I'm willing to do. And it's a spectrum because some things are just below the line. It's like, this is not preferred, but it's fine. Versus really below the line, it's like, this is actually maybe illegal. You know what I'm saying? Versus like above the line is like, this is okay. I'm okay taking this job. Versus like really above the line is like, this is close to my heart. Okay. So, when I first started teaching dance, I was teaching for a studio called Dancer Strong in McKinney, Texas. McKinney? I want to say it was McKinney. Um, anyways, so at that moment, I was in a job and teaching students, which I just found out that I really liked, but it wasn't like the core of my being, right? Actually, I think that studio still exists. I hope it does because sweet, sweet people. Um, however, as I got deeper and deeper into teaching and training and understanding what dancers really need, not just what they want, but what they need and what is actually helpful and applicable to their dance journey, I created Be Hunter Dance. And even now, like this year, we're celebrating 10 years of Be Hunter Dance existing, which is crazy. So even when I started in 2016, it was higher in the acceptance level because it was like what I wanted to do. But now 10 years into it, I'm like deeper, even like way deeper into what's close to my heart because I'm above and everything's above the line. And I've experienced things that are below the line that I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. I refuse. And it's hard to take that step and be like, hey, I'm not lowering my standards because this is not a thing. Because sometimes you really need the money. Sometimes you really want to do the thing. Sometimes you are giving them the benefit of the doubt, but something in the back of your head's like, don't do it. It's a trap. Nope. So there's two POVs, like two manifestations of like the common POV of standards. Before I get to that, it's very important to realize that standards and boundaries are connected to actions and decisions. Okay? There's so many dancers in the dance world. There's so many people in just the arts community in general, that champion standards. It's like know your worth and understand who you are and know your value and then add tax and don't accept anything that's below you. Like don't accept anything that's below you means don't stoop down, straighten your crown, do the whole thing. It's like it's very value centered. It's like you need to know who you are and don't settle for anything. Never settle. You have no right to settle, right? They should be asking you, not the other way around. But actions speak louder than words. You can say that till you're blue in the face, but if you don't back it up or give people the infrastructure to have standards and boundaries, you're not doing anything. You're just talking. It's just air. Okay? So the two manifestations that happen are geared towards two different people in the dance world. Okay? The first one is you have to do what you have to in order to do what you want to. Or you have to do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do. This is for people that have very solidified goals. Like they have ideas in mind of what it is that they're trying to achieve and what they're trying to do. So as that develops, you're realizing, okay, I have something that I want to do, but I'm hitting this wall, right? I've developed my goals, but I hit this wall that's like, I don't like the fact that I have to do this, but other people are telling me that I have to do this. So to make it make sense, they adopt, either someone gives them the idea or they adopt the idea that this is like a necessary evil that you have to do. And later on, when you're in the position to hold your standards because you have actually like accepted it, like you've gotten to the point where you want to, then now that you've gone through the necessary evil, now you can hold up your standards, right? So you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do, which is a lie. Because when you do that, you are training your standards and your boundaries to be weak. Standards and boundaries are strong when they are enforced. If you're constantly dropping or set the bar low and keep it there, when it takes effort to come up and put it there and hold it there and have it strong and not wavering, because you're the person that's holding that standard up, right? So by the time you get to the point where you can hold up your standards, like you have enough notoriety or you have enough a bigger fan base or a following or whatever, right? At that level, you haven't trained yourself to hold up your standards. So you're not strong enough to hold the standards up. You've trained yourself for your standards to be weak, right? The second one is different. I've seen it personally. I've seen it a lot more in the theater community than I have in the dance community, but there's definitely both on both sides. It's beggars can't be choosers. Okay? You're begging to do something with dance. You want to perform, you want to take class, you want to be in the convention, you want to go to intensive, you want to be in a performance, you want to, right? You want to go to an audition, to be accepted in the audition, and whatever they give you, you'll take it, because beggars can't be choosers. So you'll do whatever. They're like, hey, this is what we have for you. You get to be the person that takes off all their clothes on stage. And you're like, it's dancing. Let's do it. Right? No. No. Right? The idea is that it's just an expression of immaturity. And that's not to insult anyone personally. Maturity can be built. But the expression of immaturity is like, I'll take whatever you have for me and I'll do it because it's related to this thing that legitimately is good. At the core of this M&M is this very, very good thing. Dance, acting, theater, self-expression, arts, artistic growth, right? Those are all good things, but it's wrapped in this. It's wrapped in this environment that is rife with abuse. Because if you're just willing to do anything, you're like, I'll do whatever. Even people who have your best interest in mind will be like, I'm not sure what to do with this person. Just give them whatever. But people who don't have your best interest in mind are going to take advantage of that because they're like, they'll do whatever. I need someone to do whatever. Right? So you need to be in charge. You need to have 100% ownership of your dance and choose what the standards are. Because when you are in a position where you're just beggars can't be choosers, taking whatever you can, and because that has to do with dance, you're just letting dance blind you. And the problem with humans, we humans on Earth, is that we accept and normalize. We normalize the things that we accept. So when people are, when you're putting yourself into an environment where or an atmosphere where you are not being treated well or worse, right? You're being treated like in a bad way. Because you've accepted it, you start normalizing it. You're like, this is okay, and this is how people treat me, and this is how people can treat me. That's okay. Because you're the gatekeeper and you're the one that's allowing it to happen. Right? So one side is like, hey, I'm only lowering my standards because I'm trying to get to my actual thing, and then I'll raise my standards. Promise. That's not how it works. Right? It's like, I'm going to start working out as soon as I feel good enough to work out. That's not going to happen. You start working out so that you can feel good. Right? It makes your body and your mind, the hormones and everything, sync up to how they're supposed to be. But you work out to do that. Right? Same thing with dance. You go into dance and you feel good because you've danced. Right? And the other side is like, okay, well, as long as it has to do with dance, I don't care what it is. There are so many things in dance that you don't want to be a part of. Even if you raise the bar real high, there are certain things that you don't want to be a part of because they're not you. And they're like totally fine. They're not even like dangerous, immoral things. It's just like, I'm raising my standards so it's not just above the acceptance line. I want it to be very far above the acceptance line. I want it to be something that is close to my heart. You can make that decision. Right? So as that happens, you have to realize my point of view, my point of view for standards is the fact that standards and boundaries are skills that you can learn. Right? You are learning boundaries and standards and you're solidifying them because it's a skill that you can sharpen. So as soon as you say, I got to lower my boundaries, you're not sharpening it. You're actually dulling it. you want them to be very sharp, because sometimes there's like, you're splitting hairs on like, is this okay for me to do? I don't really know. Is this me? Does this make sense? And you get good, wise counsel from outside, and you be like, hey, I'm thinking about this thing. What do you think? Or like, hey, I just realized I've been like trying to lower my standards and convince myself. So like, help me talk myself out of this. Or help me talk myself into something that I know I want, but I don't feel like I deserve, maybe. And you're like, no, that's in your realm of who you are. Like, it's above the line of acceptance. Like, you can take this. Right? So wise counsel is good, but when no one's around, you need to have those, which means you need to establish your standards and your boundaries preemptively. You need to like instill them inside of who you are first before anyone challenges them ever at all, right? Standards are the best for us when we have preemptively set them. Okay? I'm deciding this, and there might be some wiggle room, like, oh, I have never been offered this. Okay, no, I don't do that. Right? And then, for example, I 9 times out of 10, I create like gender neutral movements for choreography and for my students. Sometimes I'll like adjust choreography if I'm teaching it to a guy versus a girl, because it's okay to be feminine. Girls are girls, guys are guys, men are men, women are women. It's okay if they have separate, different, unique movements, right? You move like a woman, you move like a man, that's fine, that's good. That's how we're designed. But I specifically don't do anything specifically sexual. That's how I teach. I specifically go out of that way because my very personal opinion, which I think is correct, is that it doesn't take any skill to do that. Anyone can do that. Right? So why are we this? You're not learning anything. You're not growing in anything. Right? So I got this call from my business. They're like, hey, this is B100 Dance? I'm like, yes, it is. And they're like, this is very paraphrased of the conversation. And they're like, hey, this is super random, but like, do you teach like twerk lessons? And I'm like, I've never been asked that before ever in my life. And so I'm like, no. I mean, here's the thing. I teach dance in a way that helps you control your body, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do with your body, right? But I don't specifically teach twerk lessons. I didn't tell her this on the phone, but I'm like, that's just not what I do. That's not in the wheelhouse of B100 Dance. I don't do sexual dancing, right? Feminine dancing, sure. Like masculine dancing, absolutely. Gender neutral dancing, sure. And more often than not. But I don't teach people how to twerk just because I'm a hip hop dancer. Those two things are mutually exclusive, right? So I set my boundaries preemptively. So when I got that call, I'd never been asked that before, but I could figure out very quickly where it fell in my standards line, right? So if you are making standard decisions in the moment, you're just arbitrarily choosing a side. Someone's like, hey, do you want to teach twerk lessons? Or like, hey, do you want to take this thing? Or like, hey, do you want to curse in this short film? Or hey, do you want to, take this thing? Or hey, do you want to be this role in this show? Or hey, do you want to do this choreography? If you're just making something, you're just closing your eyes and choosing one. You're like, I hope this is good. Right? You're not choosing it because it's good for you. And you don't know if it's good for you because you haven't set your standards yet. You have no line to decide whether it's happening. It's like, is this good or is this bad? I have no idea. You have not even decided what is good and bad for you. So, standards in the general sense are not, people are not being, the general population of the dance world is not giving you an infrastructure to have standards. They're just telling you to have standards. I'm saying preemptively write a list of things you have done and things you have not done, and then separate them into what you want to do, what you can do, what you're not going to do. It has to be preemptive. Okay. So as I come to a close, I need you to understand that all the things, especially this one, but all the things in B100, in the POV curriculum created by Joel Casanova, B100 Dance, are for you. I don't want you to just take my advice. I want you to think through it. I want you to choose my POV because I think it's correct, because I think it's beneficial. I think it's personalized. I think it's healthy. But I don't want you to just accept it wholesale, because then you'll go somewhere else and accept their thing wholesale because it feels right for you in the moment, right? What I want you to do is think through the things that I have to say, all 6 of them. We're going to do the 6th one next week. We've gone through 5 of the 6 chapters. And so as we get done with this, because I've finished the POV curriculum, my desire, my wish for you is not just to swallow things. I want you to think. It's like I'm on like this fitness journey now and figuring out where to work out, how to work out as a dancer, and figuring out what I should eat and all this different stuff. Like, you have a target of protein you're trying to hit. And so you're like, I'm going to have this with that on the side, and I'm going to drink that. That's what I'm eating today for this meal. You're thinking about it intentionally. The intention is everything. It's literally everything. So, hope that helps. If you have questions, you can always reach out to me. BeHunterDance.com. I have a live chat feature. You can just hit me up. I don't even need to know who you are. Just be like, hey, I saw your thing. I'm very curious. I have questions. Or like, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? I'll do the best I can. I love to help. Yeah, you can also slide into my DMs on BeHunterDance, at BeHunterDance on Instagram, as well as my personal. They're both connected. You'll see one if you see the other. I'm going to start switching from Hip Hop Musicality to showing you information on where you can get the book as soon as it's released. So that's exciting. Again, it's like mind-blowing to see how everything's coming together. But have a great day. Wednesday, we're going to be talking to, we're kind of like stepping outside of my wheelhouse of people that I know, which is super fun. New people always have opinions that I don't even know and stories that I don't know, because it's gonna be you and I discovering this person together. It's gonna be great. So I'm excited. Wednesday, guest talk, Hip Hop Musicality. Here's the information, and have a great day.